Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is April 15th, 2020. It is day 5 of my Quarantine Diaries, and it is also day 31 of the Quarantine series.
We got a special guest appearance. I just want to show the baby pants. Sorry to disturb your quarantine ritual. Excuse me. This is the baby pants.
She's so cuddly.
Okay, come on. Yeah, that's it.
I'll try not to be so loud. Can you close the door?
I'm good. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Love you. Tell everybody I stay anxiety-free quarantine.
For today's topic, I have something very dear to my heart and something that I feel that I have been really thirsting to speak about, and I just really didn't know how to do it, and I put it in prayer. I prayed about it a lot, and I'll be honest with you guys, it's something that I feel that for a while I felt very afraid to come out and like say or speak about. I just didn't really understand how to speak about it. And so literally last night I was praying like very boldly, and I'm just amazed by the way that God speaks to each and every one of us. And I know that everyone is in different stages of their walk of faith, and I'm very respectful to everyone's journey. So everything that I'm going to be saying, it's only from my perspective and my own personal experience. So I hope that you guys are welcoming to today's topic. If someone would have told me 3 years ago that my life would be what it is today, I would be like, yeah, right, that is crazy, there's no way. I am honestly very overwhelmed by the way that God has really placed his hand in my life. I wasn't always the way that I am now towards my faith and the way that I believe and the way that I lead my life. I was very distant from my church for like 12 years, and I think, for lack of better terms and just shortness of the time, it was because I didn't learn it and I didn't understand it, and I think I may have been almost too young to even really understand like what my faith was about. So long story short, about 3 years ago, I had just gotten out of a really toxic relationship. I said yes to Jesus. For the first time in my life, I said yes, and I meant it, and I was like, okay, like I'm gonna do this, and I like pray that you give me the strength to understand and to like get to know you, because I had no idea. And for a while my family like pursued me to turn my life to Christ, and I was like, yeah, that sounds great, but like I just don't know. Like anytime I would hear it, it almost like pushed me away even more. And so that was like my relationship with it. I was just like, it sounds great, but like I don't know, like I felt like I was almost unworthy of like having Jesus love me and like having him in my life. And so I went on a retreat, and it completely changed my life. Like, not just in a way of like I felt like a huge burden was lifted off me, but I began to understand who I really was, and I began to understand who I was not, and the parts of me that I was holding on to that were weighing on me. And so today something really, really, really special happened, and I am so humbled, so incredibly humbled by the way that God has just worked amazing miracles in my life, in the life of my family. And I can honestly tell you that for a while I felt very distant, and I felt almost like God was being a little bit too quiet with me. And so what I've learned in the past couple of months is that when I do not make my relationship with Jesus the main priority of my life, everything else seems so much more complicated and so much more anxiety driven. And as you guys know, like I suffer from anxiety, so there's so much that I could say, but to put it simply, there's a couple of things that I want to make clear, that at least I had to make clear to myself. When you begin your walk with Jesus, it does not make your life easier. Like, a lot of people think like, oh, like you're like a believer and your life must be like so good. And I used to think like that. I used to think like that people who believe like nothing happened to them, but and I know it sounds kind of ignorant, but that I'm being completely honest, like that's what I used to think. But what I've come to understand is that God favors you in a unique way, and there are certain things that he requires out of you, and he prunes you. He removes things out of your life in order for him to pour new things into your life. And this was something that I struggled with for a while, because I feel that a lot of us are very afraid to let go of like who we think we are. I know for sure I was like, I don't want to let go of this, but like once I did, I finally met myself. So I was 27 when I experienced God's grace, and honestly my life didn't get any easier, but I definitely gained more strength. I definitely learned better ways to cope with it. I'm able to be still in times of chaos, which like right now in quarantine, like you try to make the best out of everything that is handed to you. You learn to let go and let God, and that's my journey. I just invite you to welcome him into your life and see what happens, because I know for a while I was very against letting God into my life and letting him like lead, but I'm so happy that I'm sharing this. I'm so glad that I get a lot of messages actually that ask me about my faith, and I've always been very afraid to talk about it, and now I've just come to understand that like this is me, this is who I am, and I hope that you guys can understand that anything that I have, anything that I've ever accomplished, it's because of him. I can honestly tell you that I can look back into my life, in every experience, in every moment, I can see how he was working. Maybe at the time I didn't understand why certain things were happening, but I didn't question things. I simply asked for strength. And till this day, when I'm faced with a hard situation, I ask for help. I ask for guidance, and I love learning about the saints. So Mother Teresa, I call her like my spirit. Like she like hunts me, because ever since I was little, like I've always had such a deep love for just who she was as a person and her philosophy and simplicity of life. So that was it, you guys. I'm still a little bit nervous, but pray for me, because I hope that this video is helpful to you guys. I hope that you guys enjoy this kind of video, and stay tuned for tomorrow, because tomorrow I am going to be sharing my nighttime routine. If you guys have any questions about this, there's so much more that I could say, but I feel like this I would have to like do like a live or something to just answer all of your questions. And yeah, okay, that's it for today's video. Okay, I love you, bye. Oh wait, no, don't forget to share this video and like it, and also let me know in the comment section any questions that you guys have, and I'll be very happy to answer any of them. Okay, I love you, bye.